Hello and welcome back to another Squirrel Pest Control outing with myself and the Daystate Huntsman Classic .22 FAC. So I'm back again for another squirrel session in the new wood, which I got at the end of last year. So this is my first session in 2019. I was just getting to the wood. I have the squirrel feeder topped up, and I came on this day to top it back up, and lo and behold, there's a squirrel feeding on it. On the walk up along the track, I'd seen one or two squirrels, one on the ground and one up in the trees, so hope that the squirrels had found the feeder, and they did. There's the second one. As I got closer, there was the second one sitting on the branch there, and makes a quick exit. And this is what it's left to meet me, is an almost empty feeder with a lot of damage done to it. So the project now for the next week is to build a new one and replace it. They chew through the lid, and this is all scrap timber that this is made out of, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But when they chew a hole in the bottom of the squirrel feed and you come to top it up, always make sure you check the bottom of your feeders. I've had it happen before where I've poured all the peanuts in to find that there's a hole in the bottom and they all spill out the bottom. So that's it, topped up. And the squirrels went through that amount of peanuts in about 3-4 days. So I had quite high hopes that there was a few squirrels on it, and planned to shoot it the next day or two. So you can see the damage there to the corners. It's where they get into the corners of them, and thankfully on this one I have a sloped shelf on the inside which guides the peanuts to the opening on the front, and they try at the back of the corner there to eat some. That's a quick shot of the woods and type of wood it is. So originally I planted forest, so it's very straight lines. That's where I'm going to be setting my hide up and shooting from. It's about 20 yards. Now the next morning I get here, and I'm going up there, a minute or two's walk, and the feeder's on the left and my hide will be on the right. So this is about, I kind of got here late, it's about 10 o'clock. So it only set up, I hadn't even pulled the front cover down on the hide yet, and this squirrel came down the tree, straight into the peanut, straight into the hole and into the peanut feeder. So I'm literally sitting on the chair with the front of the hide up in the air, and I managed to get the gun and take a shot, and it's the first one for the day. And he's doing his the typical headshot, and that's him. Someone does it. Oh, they didn't have to wait too long for the next one to come in. This one was up in the trees for a little bit and came down. I don't know whether it saw the other one getting shot or not, but still came down, kind of having a look over at myself, directly at me. And this will all be scope cam footage today, as when I got to the hide and set up, I realised I hadn't brought my tripod for the main camera. So this video will all be scope cam footage, but I hope you still enjoy it. So that's another headshot down, doing the same as the first one. Good solid impact. Down he went. This one comes in, and I didn't have to wait long. This whole session I think was about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and I ended up with a good bag at the end of it. So they all kind of came in. The other thing that I did have up on this one was I did have a trail camera up, just to see what numbers were coming in, and to see what time of the day. The last year, or before Christmas when I shot it, I went up one morning and sat there for 2 or 3 hours with no squirrels coming from first light right up, and they started arriving in the afternoon, and then hit it again then just before dusk, just before it got dark. So I had set up in the morning, missed them, Came back then the next time I came to visit it around 12 o'clock, and there were squirrels on it when I arrived. So he gets into the feeder, comes up, sits on top, line up on him. You see the pellet went through the head and hit the stick there I propped up. And the reason I propped those sticks up there like that was when I was shooting squirrels originally off the other feeder, the squirrels were getting shot, they were falling backwards, and on the ground there's a lot of ivy and debris and stuff that I wasn't able to clear, and I was losing sight of them, so I didn't know whether the shot was good or not. So that's why having them there kind of like a backstop or a body stop or whatever you want to call it. But if that lad had sat there for long enough, I was thinking about taking the shot, but you can see he's having a look about. He's a bit nervous looking at the ones on the floor, so his head is moving and twitching, and there's no point in taking that shot, as you're only going to wound him. So he goes up onto the top there, and I'm thinking if he stays sitting there for long enough I'll have a shot at him, and that would have been the shot there, which I tried to do. But what happened? I forgot to load the gun. So you'll hear me loading the gun now, and I could hear everything working fine, and I was sure the gun was loaded. In fact, I could, as you see now, I go to squeeze the trigger now in a second when he settles down, and he's still a bit nervous at the ones on the floor, so I was lucky he didn't hear me. So I squeeze the trigger there, nothing happens. So the gun didn't cock. So now I have to recock the gun. But what I do know what did happen was the magazine cycled. So what I have is, I have a pellet in the breech. So what I have to do is cock the gun, slide the magazine out, and push the probe home. Now I'm sure that I have one pellet in the breech, and I didn't double load it, which is something that happens on. That's a nice headshot with the pellet going clean through again. But I've double loaded pellets before where I've cocked the rifle and it hasn't properly cocked for whatever reason, but it cycled the magazine. You push the bolt home or the probe home, and it pushes the pellet into the breech. So I was conscious of that, so I knew that for whatever reason the magazine cycled, but the gun didn't cock, so I had no trigger. So this other chap turns up, and he's up in the tree, and he's been up in the tree for a good few minutes. I've cut this footage way down. He's very nervous, he's having a good look around. So what I'm thinking has happened here is they all come in to feed, a good number of them, maybe 6 or 8 of them come in to feed in around the same time. They're probably fighting for position on the feeder. So that's probably why you'll see, that's why the holes in the top of the feeder. I suspect that a couple are coming, one is taking the shelf, one is going into the feeder and sitting in it, and the others are all fighting around it. So I put up trail cam on it and fed it again, so it'll be good to see the pictures of that, and if I get anything I'll put it up in the next video at the start of the next one. The next video will be soon. As I was editing this video, I was out this morning to top the feeder up again, and when I went up there was 3 or 4 squirrels on it. So I'll get one morning or one lunchtime session again out of it, and get a video up with the trail cam footage of it. I'm scratching, there's the pellet through again and hits the tree at the back there. So yeah, so I've more squirrels coming to it again. So another video is definitely on the cards, and whatever trail cam footage I get, I'll put the pictures up so we'll see how many's coming along to it. So this one here now has 2 squirrels on it. In actual fact there's 3, but I can only see 2. So I take that one, and he ends up on top of the feeder. He doesn't fall off it, and go to the left now, you'll see that other squirrel is still there, hasn't left. He's literally a couple of feet away from him, up in the tree. There is a bit of a breeze, so we obviously didn't hear the gun, which is one of the beautiful things about the PCP air rifle, with the silencer on it. Absolutely quiet, little bit of wind and down there, so he's still there, he's coming down. And I'm having a look, and I'm hoping that he's going to stay there, and he does. Perfect headshot. Clinging on and down he comes. That's two. So what happens then is there is a third squirrel there, but I haven't seen him yet. So what I do, I have a quick look. I've been looking at the two of them. The one that's hanging on the tree there drops down onto the floor, so I know he's dead. I have a quick look at that one, and he's dead as well. I'm happy with that. I just turned the camera off, and then I realised to the right, that on the top left hand corner you see the orange string, that's where my trail camera was tied, and he's sitting just there, so I managed to get him. So had I not turned the video off when I did, I'd have got a hat trick on camera again. This one turns up quite quickly afterwards as well. I reckon this one could have been up in the tree too. Came down the same tree as the one I just shot. So that was it for the day. I managed to bag 11 in total, which was done over an hour and a half, 2 hours. It wasn't much longer than that, so I timed it right, which is great. As I said before, often I've been sitting there for an hour or two or three and nothing's turned up. So very happy with that. I end up with 11. So thanks for watching. There are going to be more videos up soon. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thanks very much. We'll see you again soon.